And thank you for tuning in to ESQ-Astro Source. Here we are back consecutively, going on 8 days now. So hopefully y'all are getting something from the readings. I haven't had any comments or any thumbs down, so I'll take that as again good reception. But please let me know if the readings do resonate or how they have played out. If you've been tuning in consecutively, we're going to keep it going. Today is Sunday. Okay, it's May the 3rd. And we do the classic Egyptian tarot here at ESQ Astro. Okay, keeping it with the General Egypt decked here. Okay, and then we classify or clarify the reading with the Gods of Egypt clarification cards. The decks have not been pre-shuffled. I do all my shuffles on camera, so you see exactly what's happening and what's going on with the cards. No trickery here. No clickbait titles. My titles are true to whatever I see in the reading and what I see as the overall message to convey to the collective. These readings are collective, so if you don't get something from the reading or you don't feel nothing's here for you, maybe send it to somebody that you do feel and just be in support of the channel. We do point out the negatives on this channel, but we're always looking for the clearest path to make sure that we don't get that worst effect. We're looking for the best effect. Okay, so that's going to be our shuffle. I'm going to do a classic buildup of the pyramid. Again, we look to figure out what's going on in the first row. Second row, get some clarification about where the turnaround is. The third row, with only two cards, we look to get down to the nitty gritty, left or right. And then the last card to top off the pyramid will basically give us the whole overview of those cards. We'll clarify with one or two cards from the Gods of Egypt deck, and then we'll go ahead and see what's at the bottom of both decks as we complete each build up. So first card coming out today is the Temperance in reverse. And see, this was the card that came out for Sunday. So it's not far fetched that it will come out today. I was hoping that it would pop out in the reading somewhere, but for it to pop out first, definitely gives me some understanding about situations going on with self. But again, that Temperance in reverse popping out was the Sunday card predicted on Friday. So go back and watch the video. Like I tell people, you can't make these things up. You can play with the cards and do trickery with setting up cards, but the main thing is I just shuffled the deck in front of you guys. So no coincidences. The energy is real here with ESQ Astro. We do have a clairvoyant line to the other side. So my readings are guided and overseen by my angels, my spirit guides, and the Most High. So coming out with that second card is going to be the Hermit straight up. So like I say, that Hermit card came out, I believe, yesterday in the reading. Oh, actually, that was the Friday card. So basically a flip coming in with those cards. So the Hermit coming out in um, the upright, it's definitely showing that what I predicted for Sunday in the Friday reading definitely played out. And almost in the direct order of how those how the day or the opposite order of how the days were read out. So the third card coming out is the Devil. Okay, so the Hermit is I would say flipping the temper from dealing with something toxic to maybe seeing the good part of the toxicity, but seeing the balance as well. Sometimes we look for things to be too good, and sometimes when things are too good, we have to know it's too good to be true. But we can't overthink situations that are good but do have its bad elements and think that it's totally bad when it's not. It's just balanced. And that's where we get away from a lot of things in the American culture where uh, not a lot of balance that I see in international cultures. Just traveling the world and meeting people from different cultures in America and seeing how their culture still exists even though they're in a land that they didn't originate in. So, but something toxic is being, I would say, looked at in a particular way. Again, the couple is chained there. The devil looks to the right, so does the hermit. But the temperance in reverse is looking the other way. Okay. So again, this can be a flippage of again somebody uh, in a place where they don't want to be tempered or want to be, uh, strict and on top of things. So the best thing for them to do is to retreat and be the hermit, because something toxic there is either binding them to fight between these two, okay, or they're using it as fuel and seeing it as the balance and where the good actually is. That's why temperance and the hermit are basically looking at each other. Even though temperance is in reverse, he's looking left, hermit's looking right. So in the middle, there's some things to be figured. And again, may not be seeing eye to eye, but definitely focused on this particular, because this may be what's in the middle as well. Something toxic, something that's not serving to this person that's dealing with this energy, and the decision that has to be made. Next card coming out is the Empress in reverse. Okay, Empress in reverse. Not sure if you guys can see the cards. Again, my sunlight is, it varies day to day, so I open up the blinds a little more each day, hoping that the light shines in and y'all can see the cards. But if you can't, just know I'm telling y'all what the cards are specifically, and once I lay them out, you can kind of see them, but again, without that close-up view, which we're working on getting another camera to get that overhead, which is what I really want, because that's the prime time view for tarot readings to me. So that again, you see the cards, you'll also see my hand still in the frame as I shuffle. So coming off with the Empress in reverse, again, we got the Empress in reverse yesterday. So the Empress in reverse basically, again, is turning things around. First card came out in the reverse, so we're at a 2-2 factor. Not a real clear read of what the energy may be overall, but we're going to get there. But that Empress in reverse coming back out today, again, is showing, again, that temperance that came out in reverse ultimately uh, at the top of one reading. I can't remember what day that was, but it's that energy's playing out, and these people are looking in the same direction. Okay, um, but again, in between may be the factor of somebody being trapped in between being on solid ground and balanced and being the hermit to where you actually are on that solid ground. As you see, the hermit's ground is solid and steady and flat, while the temperance is more like the top of the hill. So being temperate and being the hermit can be two different things. The cards I like to see come out with the temperance card in the reverse or the upright is the star card, because that's uh, if they're both in the reverse, it's showing something very good. If they're both upright or adverse to each other, it's showing one as the guide and one as the follower. So you can tune into that as many different ways as you can. But again, we don't get too deep with the explanations here. But I do see these two are definitely looking in the same direction and looking to turn things around in a good way. So next card coming out is the High Priestess. So yeah, there's some serious again, um, some serious divine feminine energy coming out in the read today. After the full moon, seeing that the High Priestess has a couple crescent moons in the card, as well as the number 3. This can be communication from a higher up. Okay, and it can be communication happening with this person based upon being, again, tempered, uh, and again, standing on a hierarch, as the temperance card shows, or being the hermit and standing on solid, flat ground, which again levels you out and again puts you in almost a safe space so that you can plot, plan, strategize, like the one reading was saying earlier last week. So maybe a time for retreat and again relinquishing some toxic things or reviewing certain things that are toxic or bonding in a way that may keep you in this position where again we don't want to keep we don't want to keep ourselves in a position of staying in a hierarchy when again we need to humble ourselves and hermitize and come on some solid flat ground, especially when you're dealing with toxicity or things that just may be um, again looked at as now the balance of the good things that are actually there. So again, this could be a change in perspective from flipping that tempered perspective to being more of the hermit. Coming out next to the high priestess, the sun card. So yeah, the sun card is clarifying the hermit as well as the devil card. Okay, with both of them coming out upright again, divine feminine, most high energy with the sun card coming out. We got Leo showing up. We got the most high showing up. Uh, and ultimately, they're presiding over this reading. There's a message here for someone about um, there's a message here for someone about again humbling yourself, step off that high horse, because again with this flipped, it could be you coming off that hierarch again and falling on your head. So again, we don't come to these readings for entertainment, not in my realm. We come for clarification and things that can not only clarify but confirm whatever we're going through or have been through to get to these points. And with the sun coming out in the upright to clarify the hermit, and the sun also being in the hermit card right over, I would say being the hermit is going to serve you a lot better and keep you from uh, falling heavy into that devil energy. It's something you got to turn your back on that's toxic or again very um, just holding you in a certain place. And it seems like it's just one thing. But the Empress is the one who possibly can reverse that for you, especially with the Empress being flipped and then turned into the High Priestess here, and then the Sun card coming out to clarify that the High Priestess is the one. Now you got the Moon in the High Priestess card, the Sun there, that's eclipse energy. That's also opposites energy, even though it's just the crescent moon. We just had that full moon Friday. So that energy is still, again, resonating for the next 7 to 14 days as we reach towards the mid-month point to get to the new moon that'll be in Taurus right before we switch into Gemini. Right? So next card coming out, it's going to be the Death card. Yeah, so something's coming to an ending. Again, something toxic because the Death card is clarifying the Devil card as well as the Empress in reverse. And so Empress in reverse definitely again being flipped up to the High Priestess there. You can't look lightly at that because that's that alchemizing energy that I've been seeing in the readings all week with the divine feminine showing up to alchemize, rectify, as well as enhance certain things that are going on just based upon these particular alignments that we got going on. I believe that if it's not this week, it'll be the week after. But Mars and Venus going to be in a pretty interesting aspect. And for the lovers, people who are in relationships and um, dealing with partners, this could be a very good turning point of reaching some stable ground when it comes to advancements in our emotional intelligence, as well as dealing with healing traumas and past wounds. Okay. So we're going to keep building up. Again, the death card, something's coming to an end. It's probably going to be something toxic that you either are forced to let go or you just come to a realization about it. So next one is, yep, the Fool card in reverse. So this is turning around uh, that explorative energy, and the Fool in this sense I would say has become the wise man. You've figured something out about what's going on in this first row. And again, you can be the fool still and stay here and fall flat on your head. Okay. But if you do that, again, you may have the Empress flip on you or turn on you, based upon that. Again, she's uh, in disagreement with the toxicity as well as has her back turned to it. So yeah, because even if she was in the upright, she would be looking that way. But again, even the Temperance card and the Empress card in reverse, they're looking the same way. So again, they almost see things the same way when it comes to this. And they know both. The only way for you to get out of that energy is to become the hermit. So, but again, the high priestess is the one alchemizing and the one that's probably going to end up taking charge of the situation to get you to, again, look at things wiser, bring an end to something. So next card coming out though is the Tower. Yeah, and I wasn't surprised that comes out because that's definitely clarifying, you know, the reversals to me, as well as the lightning coming down off the Tower card is pointing right to the death. So again, we get the Tower to break down to rebuild, and again, not everybody survives the rebuild. So this could be the end of a relationship based upon just difference in lifestyles or difference in um, certain political or religious or things that you're bound to. Okay, that may be a toxic viewpoint, something that you need to change around, or somebody needs to submit to your will because you're doing things more in the righteous way. Okay. Um, and again, it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about what's right or wrong, and for everybody involved. And if it's not something that we agree upon, then you have to agree to disagree. And again, in certain situations, that's going to make people part ways or look at how do you rebuild a better foundation if you do choose to work through it. Okay. And with death being there again, that's the scales, that's Anubis, and definitely something's being weighed in this particular uh, makeup to figure out which way to go. And so again, they're looking, the same, opposite directions, but at each other. But again, at different standpoints. So with the Fool coming out in reverse, this is again, I feel somebody getting wise and figuring out what's going on. That's gonna cause a Tower, and then to top it off, we got the Hangman. So it's gonna leave somebody in a place where they feel either content or not truly happy. But again, the Hangman is always with the smile on his face because, again, depending on how much fixed energy you have in your chart, that may be comfortable for you, or if you're a fixed sign, which are all the middle signs. If people don't know, the cardinal signs are the signs that start the season. The middle sign are the fixed signs because you're in the middle. You can't go anywhere. And then the last sign is always the mutable sign. Okay, that basically makes that transference with Anubis because most mutable signs end with that particular type of energy. Right. So yeah, looking at the Hangman topping off the reading and coming out in the upright, we definitely have more upright cards than reversals, but there are certain upright cards that are pretty much explaining the reversals. And for that second row to come out all upright, that pretty much topped off the reading for me. But the cards that came out, the Fool flipping in reverse, a Tower, then the Hangman. Okay. So that hangman can be, again, somebody becoming wise and realizing that being the hermit is wiser than trying to be the tempered one all the time. This could be somebody that's even stubborn with asking or, you know, putting themselves in a place to where they know they have a support system, but you try to do everything yourself and end up regretting it because, you know, the people who you could have relied on are either now no longer accessible, or they're not as willing as they used to be, based upon the lack of, um, intimate exchange or, just understanding when it comes to, again, people really talking. And we get so used to all this technology nowadays, people don't even call each other like we used to. But when that was the only way to talk to people, when you weren't around them, especially when you had a home phone, you stayed on the phone, especially if you were at home a lot in the evenings. And then in the daytime, you'd be out hanging with these people or meeting up with them at some point based upon maybe how your lifestyles are. So I just know I had many times where I worked jobs and so did my friends, but we would all get off at around the same time. So daily we would meet up, and just vibe with each other, whether it was with music, poetry, or just hanging out. You know what I mean? Just like vibing and getting to know each other deeper with the stories and things that we had from our past, making us be in the place where we was at that time. Now, clarifying at the bottom of the deck, yeah, I'm not surprised the world card. So yeah, the hangman is telling you, Mr. Temperance uh, Temperance on the reverse side. Okay, it's telling you again, you got to make a change. You probably already know that, and for the most part, I think you've already made the decision. It's just about looking at the top of the week because we are here on Sunday doing this reading, and that was the Sunday card. I think it's just telling you this week, make some changes, and stay in that direction of the wise man, so that you don't fall on your head because the tower's coming, and for that to come right out after the fool in reverse, it's just saying if you're wise, you're going to end up here, if you're not, you're going to stay here. And we don't want to stay in a place where, again, we may be fighting something that's good for us, we just have to be good for it or good to it as the opportunity presents itself. I think the reading's pretty straightforward and clear. I'm gonna look to clarify with one Gods of Egypt card just because I think it's gonna keep us on track to just see exactly what we need to be focused on this week. I will clarify with the bottom of the deck just to show exactly where the overall energy lies for a portion of the reading. I'll get into the clarification of it based upon what comes out, and then we'll figure out exactly what that change is too. Because I'm thinking the bottom of this deck's going to clarify what's at the bottom of that deck to let us know where that change is coming and what we need to be focused on. So we're going to give it one more flip, and then I'll do a quick breakdown shuffle and keep things moving. We ask for guidance and protection. We ask for clarity to bring forth the best outcome for this reading and instruction of what we need to do to avoid staying stuck. All right. So, the first card coming out, and I'm going to do a pluck and pull today. Yep. Stability and equilibrium. And again, making that decision is going to create that stability and equilibrium. Okay. I'm not even going to use any other cards to clarify the reading. That's clarifying the world and the change. So you make that change, that's what you're going to get. The bottom of the deck, we got darkness in the upright. So yeah, it's the difference. Again, the darkness is only exposed because of the light, and the light is only seen because of the darkness. So we have to remember, again, balance is better than everything, I would say. And if you are starting to achieve that balance, this is a good time to exercise hermit mode to get those changes to bring forth the stability and equilibrium you're looking for. And again, don't shy away from your darkness. That's why I think the darkness is coming in the upright, because when darkness and the devil card as well as the death card all come out in the upright, like I was saying, you could be using something that has been toxic, and changing that energy around and making it positive for yourself, or making other people see it in a different light or positive manner. And again, that may cause a tower, or a wise moment for someone else to recognize things, and become content with it for the time, but looking at the change that is being administered or brought in, for the temperance to become to the hermit card. So that's plotting, strategizing, things that need to be more organized come into play. And again, the darkness could be saying some things are going to be exposed during this change. So it's a powerful week coming, y'all. We got Pluto going retrograde on Wednesday for the next 5 months. And that's heavy, especially for relationships. So a lot of heavy relationship energy here, even though this could be something family. I'm not sure. There could be a difference in, like I say, viewpoints, or, philosophy, religion, whatever people claim to believe in. I believe at the end of the day, we all have a right to know, and a responsibility to know, and kind of figure truths for ourselves based on facts. Because if you're not building with facts, I really can't, deal with that. And that's another thing coming out in the reading too. Some truths may be coming out that, again, reveal a tower moment that changes perspective of, um, how we need to be moving. How we need to be the hermit and the hangman in one, and be content with being the hermit, and being the hermit with contention. You know what I mean? Like just being there and being slow and steady, but steady. You know what I mean? And sure, because things that are